Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Black Widow movie YELENA BELOVA figure, which is one I'm very curious to know. Who wants this? Does anybody care about this character? If you do, I'm not judging, I'm genuinely curious. Does anybody care? Just let me know in the comment section below. I know the movie's not out yet, so maybe she's gonna be the best character ever, but as far as the comics go, whatever. Okay, let me know in the anyway, let's move on. The figure is, it does some things all right and some things not so well. It's kind of average. For a movie figure, it's not great, but in general, it's okay. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 6 1/4 inches to the tippity top of the hair, which makes her just about 15.5 centimeters. And the overall aesthetic is, I guess, bland, which is, from people who don't collect the movie figures, what they're going to say about most of the movie figures. They look kind of the same-ish. All of the characters look the same. They're all wearing the tactical, like canvas, armored cloth gear, and this one's no different. I mean, they're all just starting to really blend together in terms of uniforms, but the figure itself looks okay. She has like the photorealistic tampography type paint job on the face, and it's fine. I can't say it actually looks like the actress, but it does look like an actress. It looks like a person rather than a cartoon character, so that's okay. I love the way they did the hair. The kind of wash that they use, which is just something I've never seen an equivalent of in the hobby world, is really nice. If it's just a regular wash, then it's excellent, and if it's some kind of other technique I don't know about, still excellent. It's awesome. I love the way they're doing those kind of washes. That's about it though. We have a few little details of paint here and there, but it's mostly just a bunch of white plastic, so it looks a little bit bland. It's the nature of the character, so I can't really fault him too much for that. I will mention this in terms of the aesthetics. The head to neck connection is just god awful bad. So we'll get to that more in the articulation, because once you pose it just right, it doesn't look too bad. So aesthetically, it's very bland, but that's the nature of the character. So 7, I guess. I don't know. The hair is really nice. I'll give it a 7. Whatever. As far as accessories go, we have 2 fist hands and 2 gun holding hands. We do also have 2 little guns. And then we have 1 thigh holster, which is connected to her, which can hold a gun, but only one of them. Whatever. So accessory wise, 6, I guess. That's fine. It's whatever. All right, let's talk about this neck joint. We talked about it a little bit on Red Guardian. They've moved to, finally, after much request from myself, a double ball peg system. However, as you can see, they haven't quite figured it out, which to me seems like they didn't even try, because how hard is it to test if a ball peg moves? If a ball in a socket doesn't have much movement, you've done it wrong. So I don't know what they're doing here. It's essentially just a single ball peg, which blows. So, what the heck? So if you're going to do a single ball peg, you want the ball to be where the pivot's going to be, which would be down here in the neck, not at the top of the head. And they did it backwards, because they did a double ball peg that didn't work. So you just end up with like a broken neck look most of the time. Or like she's trying to move her neck funny. And also lollipop syndrome. Ugh, why? It's the most basic of joints, a ball and socket. Come on, Hasbro, come on. That neck is not good. You're essentially just going to be able to rotate it, otherwise you're going to expose the jank that is the neck situation. So that's not good. For the shoulders, just about horizontal, so that's fine. Full rotation, no bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. Better than 90 degrees. You do get your rotation out of that, but the way they're doing these elbow joints is not something I can condone. I get it when it's a straight arm, and that's how they start off making their figures, with a straight pose like this. It looks fine. That looks like a normal arm, although the arm's a little thick down here. That looks okay. As soon as you bend it, it's just all kinds of weird looking. Some kind of, I don't know. Like, they could just do so much better. I don't understand why they do things like this. The joint is too far down on the arm. Make the joint part that sticks down into the forearm, this big piece right here, make that shorter. bring that farther up on the forearm, and then you don't have this giant hunk of plastic pushing the arm out and dislocating the elbow. Very weird. All right, for the wrist, you have your swivel and you have the right kind of hinge, so that is cool. I like that. For the diaphragm joint, they did a good job of hiding it under the straps, and it's a good diaphragm joint, so that is nice. And that's it for the torso articulation. A little bit limited because of that, but still not a bad diaphragm joint. For the hips, pretty good range out to the side. Not full splits, but that's okay. They don't go that far forward. Can't bring them up horizontal. They don't really go back at all. Thigh swivel is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. This is the new trend these days, apparently. Todd showed off some articulation for his upcoming Spawn thing that he's doing on Kickstarter. Don't get me started on that, no pun intended. But this big gap between the legs is something that exists solely to give yourself better range. As you can see, we have a full folding of the leg there. That's, to me, I would rather have this gap narrowed significantly and just lose a little bit of range so that the knee is not this giant mass. You guys can let me know what you think about that. I personally like these two, like those two pegs, those two leg parts to be as close as possible so that you don't get this giant chunk of knee on the front of the figure. And even if you could only get that much range instead, like, there's so much of a gap there. I don't care for that. Let me know what you guys think, but tons of range. So if you're all about that, then that's fine. It looks like there should be a boot swivel. I don't believe there is. I can't get either of mine to move. And then the leg, or the ankle, goes all the way back and pretty far forward, and it's a really solid, decent enough anyway, ankle rocker. So some questionable articulation here, but all in all, it's not bad. I'll give it a 7. You could argue 6 because the head is so bad and the elbows look weird and the knees look weird, but they all technically function mostly, so I'll stick with 7. All right, as for the final verdict on this figure, people who aren't into the movie figures, there's nothing here for you. It's not like it's some kind of really good figure of an important character where you would actually want to own this. Even if you happen to really like this character, the figure is just so bland and just blah that I don't think there's much here for you. So this is really just aimed for the movie collectors specifically, and even then, it's one of their weaker movie figures, I think. So I'm only going to give it, I guess I'll go 7. I guess I'll say 7. That seems like it's fine, but it's not going to knock anybody's socks off. You're not going to be impressed by it, other than maybe the hair is colored really nicely. That's honestly the best thing about this figure. The hair is colored nicely. It is, though. It's very nice. So yeah, it's a 7. It's blah, but it's okay. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because I have new videos out almost every single day, and for the days I don't, I've got thousands of videos just waiting to be watched. So there it is, guys. Come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.